Yo, what's up? It's your boy Storm back again with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about why you really should not care what anyone thinks. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, the big reason why you should not care what anyone thinks, and more importantly, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks about you, is because no one is you. No one has your spirit, except of course, you can make the argument that your twin flame or your soulmate shares a soul or a spirit or a tie with yours, but for the most part, most people that you meet do not have any tie to your spirit. So what they think about you matters none. But here's the thing. When you do care about what other people think and what other people's thoughts about you are and what their understandings of you are, that care for what they think is going to start to influence how you move in the world and how you make decisions. So if we continue to follow the logic, then that means that if someone thinks a certain thing about you, or thinks, oh, that person is broke because they don't have nice clothes, for example, and then you say, well, shit, like, I don't want them to think I'm broke, so then you go out and buy nice clothes to prove that you're not broke, but then in you going out and wasting all of your money on nice clothes, now you no longer have anything saved to further invest in yourself or invest in maybe a knowledge or a class or a certain thing that would have created you wealth in the first place. So now, since you were influenced by what they thought about you, you are now manifesting the exact thing that they thought about you in the first place, which is that you're broke. Because now that you bought all these nice clothes, you no longer have any money. So now you are broke. But the funny thing is, now they might no longer think that you're broke because now you have nice clothes, so to speak. But guess what? You're still broke. So you caring about what they thought gave them the power to manifest an outcome for your life. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Let me give you another example, right? If someone thinks that you're a bad person, or if someone thinks that you're, let's go with this one. If you meet someone for the first time, right, and they think that you're unfriendly because you don't fake smile, right? Because a lot of people, let's be real, a lot of people in the Matrix love to fake smile because I don't know why, to be honest, because I don't do that, but a lot of people base a lot of their initial feelings off someone not based on the underlying energy, but based on what they can see with their eyes, because they're lost in the Matrix. And when you're lost in the Matrix, you no longer see with your third eye, aka you can no longer sense energy. You have to rely on what you see with these eyes, which everything that's in front of us is an illusion anyway. So if someone thinks that you're unfriendly because you don't smile the first time you meet them, right? And they talk about you behind your back to someone else, and somehow, some way, shape, or form or another, it gets back to you, and then you, as a result, start to fake smile at everyone you see. Well, now, when you start to meet people who actually are using their third eye, are using their senses, can read energy and feel energy, when you get around people like that and you give them fake smiles, meanwhile, deep down, you're not feeling the way that you're showing them that you're feeling, they are now going to get the energy of manipulation coming off from you. Oh, this person is smiling at me and they really don't feel that way. They're probably trying to manipulate me in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna go gossip about it in the corner. I'm just not gonna communicate or interact with this person past this initial meeting. So while you and that person could have been a great energetic match for each other, you threw off your own energy because you cared about what someone else who was in the matrix thought. Do you get me? So this is why you cannot care about what anyone thinks about you, because what other people think about you are oftentimes just reflections of how they think about themselves. And if you start to dictate and change the way you act based on how other people feel or think about you, then you're no longer being genuine to yourself and your own soul and your own spiritual way of being, but now you're just mixing and molding yourself to try to be a chameleon and try to fit in with people who you weren't supposed to fit in with in the first place, right? See, that's the thing about breaking out of the matrix, is that when you break out of the matrix, it becomes harder to interact and befriend those who are in the matrix in a genuine way, because people who are stuck or trapped in the matrix are more often than not being genuine to begin with. So if you stay true to yourself at all times and refuse to care or think about what other people think or feel, or refuse to change the way you are based on how other people think and feel, then surely enough you're going to start to run into and resonate with people who genuinely resonate with who you are as a person, because they feel similarly, or they can handle, quote unquote, your energy, right? So I'll give you an example of myself, right? Me, myself, for the most part, I'm not someone who smiles very often, right? And I'm very quiet when I first meet people. Now, if I change my own energy to try to fit in with people as I first meet them, and I'm just trying to talk just for the sake of keeping a conversation going and blah, 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 maybe I will befriend these people that I'm meeting. But I'm befriending people that I wouldn't normally get along with to begin with. So that is going to create internal, emotional, and spiritual turmoil for myself when it didn't need to be there in the first place. Instead, I'm just going to continue to be who I am, and the people who resonate with that are going to be drawn to that. And then the people that I end up meeting and getting along with are people that I spiritually get along with. You get me? So there's more congruence between you and the people that you're meeting if you refuse to care about how other people see or view you, so to speak, or care what other people think about you, so to speak. So yeah, that's it for this video. I mean, really, at the end of the day, without getting too deep into it, caring about what other people think about you is a recipe for, it's just a recipe to make yourself unhappy in the long run. In the short run, you might have tons and tons of friends, but in the long run, you're not gonna have anyone you can truly trust, or truly depend on, or truly confide in, or truly just be yourself around. And if you can't be yourself around these people, then it's gonna manifest as either you one day deciding, you know what, I'm done, and just getting rid of everyone in your life and just starting from scratch, or it's gonna manifest as you just being unhappy but keeping a smile on your face and still hanging around people that you no longer resonate with. So at the end of the day, don't care about what anybody thinks about you, because the only person's opinions that matter in your life are your own. How you feel about yourself and how you feel about your current state, your current place in the world, your current spiritual state of being, those are the only things that are going to matter at the end of the day, because your emotional well-being is going to be what creates your external environment. So if you're emotionally in turmoil, you're going to create turmoil externally. If you're emotionally at peace because you don't care about what other people think, then you're going to create a peaceful external environment to mirror that. But until next time, this has been Storm. Peace.